Welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program. Wow, they got the they took their look. They're on the first floor, and they took down all of their curtains. you can see right in their apartment. Like, wow. Now I can understand if you was living on the second, third, or the other floors up, but this is what they do. Oh yeah, back up, buddy, back up. Again, like I said, I always know when they engage in their targeting. So I was doing laundry. I went downstairs to do some laundry, watch the kids' uniform and Alyssa's leotard, and came back upstairs. And I went back downstairs, came back upstairs, realized that I didn't have the laundry card with me. I'm like, what the hell? Did it fall out my pocket? I swear, I gotta have put the laundry card back in my pocket. I left the laundry card in the machine. But anyway, let me continue. So I forgot the laundry card. I'm like asking Pam, Pam, I think the laundry card fell out my pocket and I don't know where it is. So she's getting all upset, what have you. And I literally went downstairs, looked on top of the machine. Didn't even realize, like I had the memory of taking the card out of the machine, right? You know what I'm saying? Which was, again, false memory. Because I didn't take it out of the machine. And so, went downstairs, didn't see the card. Went back upstairs. And so, I went back downstairs again, just to double check. And there was a young Negropean girl there, right? She looked to be around maybe 18, 19. So I asked her, I said, hey, did you see a laundry card, a laundry card anywhere? She was like, nope. And then she looked, she's like, oh, it's in the machine. And I was like, oh, shoot. Anyway, so, but I'm going to tell you how, again, they did this, how they hijacked my consciousness to make me forget about taking the card out of the machine because they have an agenda. Again, like I said, I love to expose them. Okay, I tell you, whenever I approach, all of a sudden they start walking. Right, he was standing up in front of the scooter. I approached, start walking behind the scooter. Why the red light? See why? Because the other guy, as I was walking, coming out the building, he was backing up his scooter. And such. Okay, again, I want you to understand what it is that they do. So anyhow, put the clothes clothes was in the dryer already. But when I came back downstairs to look for the card, I didn't find it. Put the clothes in the dryer. Went back upstairs, and the dryer was 54 minutes. I went back downstairs about probably like an hour and a half later. I get in the elevator. The elevator didn't go all the way down. Stops on one of the floors, and then the same girl got in the elevator, right? Then elevator stopped on the other floor. White guy came into the elevator. I guess he was doing laundry too. Like I said, it's funny how they will engage in synchronization, right? Because of course they have an agenda, right? And again, I'm gonna explain to you guys what it is that they did. So I'm downstairs. He's talking to me. So again, I do want to have a conversation and want to talk about shit that And I know he's a very religious guy, but I want you to understand how religious people will lie. And how they infiltrate organizations, right? Just like Paul, right? Just like their belief system. The belief system of Christianity is based off of Paul religion, based off of Paul doctrine, not the doctrine of Jesus Christ. So, we start talking, and I'm like, I'm going to use this opportunity to educate them. So I start talking about Bacon Rebellion. And I said, listen, they got these white, rich people, wealthy people who have used poor white people, to their detriment and to their benefit, meaning the wealthy whites. And they start talking about, slavery or this and that. Like white people shit. Always racist ass white people, right? And again, I can always catch them. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I catch them because, like I said, they also talk about Irish slaves. First of all, there were no Irish slaves. Okay, in terms of, the Atlantic slave trade, they were Irish indentured servants. Now, prior to that, they were white slaves in Europe, but these were white Europeans enslaving other white Europeans. Okay. So again, whenever they default to, oh, my family was slave and all this shit, understand that that's a racist trope and that's a racist talking point. You know what I'm saying? So I started educating. I said, listen, man. The Arabs Arabs had one of the biggest slave trade of white people, right? You know that, right? So of course he doesn't know, because all these people do is study the Bible, right? And they're indoctrinated with their racist belief system, right? So I said to them, I said, listen, there were black people in Europe too, right? There were black indentured servants. I said, go look up Bacon Rebellion, and you will see, right, how they manipulated poor whites by giving them by making them white, poor Europeans, I should say, because there was no white people at that time until after Bacon Rebellion. Then they created white people, and then poor whites to be able to push black people around. These dumbasses, because they were ignorant, right? They were ignorant and they were dumb, white people. So he starts talking about, my family. I'm like, listen, man, go look at the history, right? I'm not saying maybe your family, but the vast majority of Europeans that came to this country from during colonization were not educated white people, okay? All right? The vast majority were people who they kidnapped off the streets, who they emptied out the prisons, the asylums, right, and brought them over here. Okay, so let's not act like if you don't know your history, because you probably don't, because you've been lying to yourself. So then afterwards, he tried to, send me a subliminal message about my daughter, right? So I'm folding up her clothes, and I'm folding one of her bralette, and he looks at it and he goes, oh, that's a nice, what you said? That's a nice underwear. You might look, I know you look good wearing it, something like that. I said, no. I made a joke. I said, just grab back at him. I said, no, it's blindfold. That's what it is, okay? And then he walks off and he goes, he's talking about, then he says, oh yeah, back in the days when we were kids, we had the newspaper. That's all we used to read was newspaper. I said, well, I don't know any kid back in the 80s or the 70s, maybe even the 70s, that would be spending the whole day reading newspaper, okay? They had television. If you had television, you watch television all day, if you're not in school, okay? But again, it's all that subliminal bullshit. And I filter through that shit. Like I said, I filter through that shit because, they don't scare me with that shit. They don't even, think. But they do, when they hit you with that microwave frequency to manipulate you, yeah. So anyway, like I just said, it's just odd how I waited an hour and a half to go back downstairs. I got into the elevator and both of them showed up again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Synchronization. This is what they do, right? And then send a subliminal threat about my daughter. Like I said, when they do anything to our kids, guess what? We need to take the mindset that they have, right, and flip it back on them. Okay? And flip it back at them, because again, they know what it is that they're doing. Unlike the vast majority of black people and Hispanic people, particularly if you're middle class or you're the working class poor and you're the poor, you're running off of your subconscious programming. And subconscious programming that they have done to you and I. You know what I'm saying? And even though white people have been conditioned with subconscious programming, but that subconscious programming benefits them, right? It makes them hate you for being black, it makes them hate you for being Hispanic, right? And they understand that their people is the one that hold the power. So they will never give you anything. If it's going to take something even a little bit away from them, they're not going to give you shit. So we've been very, very, getting the scraps, and we've been satisfied with that, right? So, but again, this is how they condition us. And what do you think that happened when you condition the people to survive off of less and less? Guess what happened? Again, they understand science, genetic, epigenetic, right? Meaning that your offspring, you're going to be creating offsprings who are going to be able to survive and even less. And so guess what? When you see the economic divide or the economic gap continues to widen, right? You see, they can't survive on less, but they've conditioned us to survive on less because they want to give us less. And this is what we don't understand. The science behind these things, the psychology behind all these things. You know, we in this damn religious book as if, you know, this shit is the holy grail, and it's not. It is a lie, and it is a program to indoctrinate your mind, to continue to be abused and used and manipulated, while those at the top continue to amass great wealth that they would not even be able to spend in 100 lifetimes. And it's because of their mental illness, okay? Their thirst for greed, and what the Native Americans call, that they have, the mental illness that they have, Wedico. All right? So no, I'm not confused. I might be confused about certain things, but when it comes to me knowing what I know in terms of this targeting thing, the non-consensual human experimentation, the setups and frame in order so that they can get away with it, right? The FBI COINTELPRO program, which still is alive today, all right? And it's now much broader because now it is called cognitive warfare. And those of us who have been implanted with microchips, you know, neurocognitive warfare, in order to control us, to manipulate us, you know, to install puppets so we can ascend up the social class and be the gatekeepers of white supremacy. Listen, like I said, I understand very well. But like I said, when I look around and I see my people and the condition that we're in, you know, I can't turn my back. And this is what the majority of you see wealthy black people do. Rich black people, I should say. They turn their back on the rest of us, right? Because that's who they want in those positions. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.